You'll see a start video. I like to see faces. That'd be great. Thank you. All right. So today's an Android class. What type of phones do we have here today?
Samsung.
I heard Samsung.
Okay, I have a Rebel Android.
Okay, Rebel Android.
Note 10 Plus.
10 Plus. Okay. Anyone else? How about E. Kingman? What kind of phone do you have today? E. Kingman, you can unmute yourself. Look in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. You can click on unmute. E. Kingman, hello? You having issues with your audio?
No, it's fine. I have a Samsung.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Jane, did you say Motorola?
Yes.
Great. That's great. How about Sheldon? What do you have? Sheldon? You can unmute yourself in the lower left-hand corner. How about, is it Sangan? What kind of phone do you have, Sangan? Sangan, lower left-hand corner of your screen, you can unmute yourself. Anyone else would like to mention your phone? Go ahead.
Samsung.
Samsung, okay, great, thank you.
And that's actually sagging off.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right, well,
Hey, Lena, this is Michael. I will
Hi,
be
Michael.
your TA. Would you like to make me a co-host?
Sure.
Thanks.
There you go.
Thanks.
All righty, good. All right, everyone. Well, let's get started today. We have a lot of things to cover. This is a little more advanced Android class that we have today. We're going to talk about some different tips and tricks you can use with your phone. Bring my screen out here. My name is Donna. I'm your guide for today. I was in the IT industry for over 30 years. I enjoy helping people get over their fear of technology. And we are Get Set Up. We're seniors teaching seniors about technology. We also have social hours, that type of thing that you can do. Different types of programming. This session is being recorded. If you wish to get a copy of the recording at the end of the class, you can do so by emailing help@getsetup.io. And we are not paid to promote any of these Android phones. We do have several different types here. So that's the fun part of this class, is the fact that we do have different phones. All of our phones are a little different because of the Android world. Today, we're going to talk about checking data and battery usage, backing up your photos, and how to save and find your files. And we just discussed the different types of models people have. We're going to have, I have a Motorola G6, unless, even if you had a Motorola, I'm not too sure our screens would match. So our screens don't match normally in this class. If you realize someone else has a similar phone to yours and they are having trouble finding something, feel free to, chime in and, give them a helping hand if they're if they're struggling, because that's what we do in this class. We do help each other out with the phones. All right. So the first little tip today, when we talk about the Play Store on your phone, I'm going to bring up my phone for a second here. Oops. Let me hold on here. My mirroring just got disconnected. Let me reconnect. Normally, when we're using the Play Store to look up apps and that type of thing, the screen is kind of small. If you're going to do some research on apps you're interested in using. So the nice thing is that you can use the Play Store online. Again, when you're on the Play Store, what I'm talking about is the icon that has this blue pyramid look on your phone, and it says Play Store. So you open that up, and this is where we would find apps for our phone. You could search up here if you're looking for, say, a calculator app or something like that. You could type in calculator apps and see what kind of apps show up. And sometimes you're just researching. Maybe you're trying to find the best app for a particular task you want to do. And the problem, of course, being in the Play Store is it's small type. It's hard to read. A lot of times the reviews, when you're looking at a certain app, you got to read all the reviews. And the nice thing is you can do the Play Store right from the web. So if you go to the Play Store, this is the Play Store online. You'll get the link at the end of this class to this website. It's and you can do more than just look at the apps here. You can take care of your Google account. You can add or take away payment methods that you have with your Google account. You can look at your subscriptions you have already with Google, anything that you've signed up for as a subscription. You can redeem gift cards. You can buy gift cards. Take a look at your wish list that you have, your running wish list for different items in Google. So when you come in here, you can take a look at your apps. They have different categories on the menu up here at the top of the screen. I can click on categories, and if I'm interested in a specific type of category, let's say we're looking for health and fitness apps. I'll select health and fitness, and then they'll show us all kinds of apps here that you might be interested in checking out. I can come in here and take a look at these. Let's say I'm looking at, here's a fabulous, what is this? Fabulous Daily Motivation and Habit Tracker. Well, let's say you take a look at this app. You can look at what the screens look like here. There's a little scroll, a little arrow that you can click on right here in the middle of the page to scroll through give you an idea what this app's going to look like on your phone. You can click on individual screens to get a better look at what it looks like. If you scroll down a little bit more, you can see the ratings. 4 out of 5, that's out of a scale of 5. It's good to have more 5s than any of the others. You can see here what the ratings look like, and then you can come in here and you can read all the reviews, all the full reviews about the app here. And the nice thing about this is when you click install, what comes up are the phones that are attached to your Google account. So if you have multiple phones on one Google account, you will be able to scroll from one phone to the next. So you can select your phone. I have the Motorola G6. When I hit continue, what it's going to do is install the app right on my phone. So I can install it right here from the website. Anyone have any questions about that? All righty. Let's move on to the next step here. We're going to talk about checking and controlling your data usage. If you have unlimited data, you probably don't have to worry about this on your plan, but if you have limited data, you could take care of some of your, controlling or at least checking on what your data usage is on your phone. So if you're on a Samsung phone, I do make notes of Samsung on my slides. You can see it down below. You can go to Samsung settings, data usage, data saver. Also, it could be in your, I think it's connections. I believe it's in the connections section too of your settings. Thank you. For a second, is it connections? I can't believe I remembered it.
What is data saver all about?
Well, let's data saver. Now, if you see data saver on your phone, what that is, it's a setting on your phone where, let's say you can, at home, you're probably on Wi-Fi, right, with your phone. And what's happening when you go to use data, and when I say data, I'm talking about getting on the internet,
No
maybe
Wi-Fi for me,
taking-
only the still cell
Okay.
phone, no Wi-Fi.
Okay, that's good to know. So what happens, Data Saver, when you have it on Data Saver, apps that you don't use very frequently are going to be limited on the amount of times they're going to be able to update themselves and do notifications. So it's a way to save data. Do you have an unlimited plan, Gertrude? Or,
Yes, I have unlimited plan,
Okay.
but they have a stipulation about it. So if you go over 30, go to 35 gigabytes,
Yeah.
then they slow down your speed. So
right, yeah, that's true. It never really is unlimited. There is a limit.
I found out the hard way.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
If you're streaming movies and that type of stuff, you can hit that pretty quickly. It doesn't take much to get up to those levels. Yeah. So that's what the Data Saver can do for your phone. So I'm going to bring my phone up here. There's also another setting to look at when you're in your data usage section. You can look at data warning or limit too. I'm going to bring my phone up here for a second so you can see a little bit of what we're talking about here. All right. So when you're looking at of course, you will see something about a graph maybe telling you how much data you are using. I just paid my bill, so I'm kind of starting fresh, but you might see different information about your plan on your phone. And of course, you'll see the Data Saver. And like we're just talking about that, it's going to stop. When our phones are just sitting on the table, you're not even touching it. All the apps on your phone, they're doing updates. They're notifying you. There's a lot of action going on behind the scenes, even when you're not using your phone. So if you have the Data Saver on, that will restrict some of that action that's going on. The updating, the notifications will get restricted on the apps. You can try it on your phone. If you do have any issues with the data usage on your phone, that's something to try. That's like setting to start with on your phone. Another one to look at if you have it on your phone is the data warning or limit, or you might have both. Again, depends on your phone. And we're going to have a lot of different settings on our phones. If you see a data warning, what that would mean, I have this on my phone, you can set just a limit, a usage limit, and you'll just get a warning. A pop-up's going to come up and say, hey, you met your, like for here, I've got a 2 gig limit. They'll just say you've hit your 2 gig limit. And that's all it is just a warning, just to warn you. Now, if you have limit, where you can set a limit, read what your phone says. Mine tells me that it's going to turn off the mobile data once it reaches the limit I set. So I set some, this is a little more drastic. If I set something here, then I'm going to, when you hit that limit, you will, it will turn off the mobile data. This would probably be a more drastic measure to take. But if you're getting billed extra every month because you're going past your limit, then you might have to take that type of thing. So take a look at what your phone does in this area, and you can see what you might want to set. For me, the warning is enough. If I start binge watching something on some TV shows on my phone, a warning is enough just to let me know that, hey, you just went through 2 gigs. I did that watching a football game one time. It can happen. So that's this is a good section, this data usage, to be familiar with what your phone can do. We'll also show you Wi-Fi data usage. This is nice too, because if you think your phone is already attached to Wi-Fi and you're using the data, when you have your phone attached to Wi-Fi, the data is going to be used on the Wi-Fi side first, and then it goes to your data. But what if you think you're attached to Wi-Fi and everything's hunky-dory, and you come in here and you look and your Wi-Fi data usage is 0? Oh, that means something's not set right. So that's a good one, just to make sure. If you are on Wi-Fi, you should see something, like I've got 12.67 gigabytes, for the month. So that's, yeah, so that's that if I didn't have my Wi-Fi on, I would I have a limited data plan. Boy, would I be getting billed. So if you do think, if you're wondering, why am I getting billed? I don't understand. Yeah, take a look in here and just make sure that Wi-Fi is showing something. It should be. Anyone have any questions about that area? Does anybody use Wi-Fi calling? Does anyone have that set on their phone?
Yes.
Bob, you do? Okay. My phone doesn't do that, but let's talk a little bit about Wi-Fi calling, what that means. So normally like I said, you have your phone when you're at home. If you have Wi-Fi, put it on Wi-Fi because you will cut down on your data usage on your data plan. And then there's a thing called Wi-Fi calling. And what that means is your actual calls, the phone calls on your phone are now going to go through Wi-Fi also, in addition to the data. Now, that can be good or bad because voice needs a very consistent connection to work right. Voice signals drop quick. You're connecting to Facebook and checking your news feed. The line can be bouncing all over the place. You'll still see your news feed on Facebook, but a phone call will die the minute the line just dips a little bit. So if you find that you have Wi-Fi calling on your phone, and when you're talking to people on your cell phone, maybe your phone you do get drops. The call drops. Maybe you're not hearing them very well on the phone. It breaks up a little bit. That might tell you that even though you have Wi-Fi in your phone, in your house, the signal may not be strong enough for the voice to carry voice. And at that point, you'd want to shut off the Wi-Fi calling and just use your mobile service on your phone for the calling part. Does that make sense? I hope I explained that. Two different things. Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at this on my phone right now, and it says Wi-Fi, and then it has underneath the name of the connection. How do I know whether my phone is using the Wi-Fi for calling or not?
If it's using it for calling?
Well, yes.
Do you have the Wi-Fi calling on?
I don't know. Where is it?
If your phone has it, it should be it should be somewhere in your network or internet or connection section. What type of phone do you have?
This is a Google.
Ooh, Google.
The latest one, the A4. I just got it.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Google.
It's Pixel A4 5G.
Oh, there we go. Turning it Wi-Fi calling on and off. Is it it's a 4A?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. At the end of the call, I'm sorry, at the end of the class, in the email, I'll send you a link to this article on how to turn it on and off on your phone.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah, so the trick when you're on, when you open up your browser, just type in the model of your phone and whatever feature you're looking at, what you're trying to figure out, or an error or problem you're having, and you'll find information, especially if it's a problem you're having. If a lot of people are having that same problem, it's going to come up. There's a lot of stuff's going to come up. All right. Any other questions about looking at this data information on our phones? Great. All right, let's talk a little bit about the battery part of our phones. In settings, you should have a section called battery. Some Samsungs have the battery in the settings. Some of you guys have to go to your quick panel, swipe down from the top of your phone, go to power mode to find your battery saver. Now, what battery saver is a setting you're going to set a percentage on your phone. I'm going to go into mine also. You'll see that it's asking you for a percentage. When you leave your house and you're on battery with your phone, everything's going to be on battery, right? All the apps that do updates, all the notifications now, all that's being done under the power of your battery on your phone, which may not be a bad thing. If you have a new phone, you probably don't have to worry about it. But if you have a battery on your phone is getting a little old and they start getting a little finicky, they start having problems when sometimes you can't make it through the whole day, right? With your battery lasting, which is so annoying.
What do you mean by your battery lasting? You mean recharging? That's what you mean?
Oh no, when you're off your charger, when you're out and about doing errands, if you go out and do stuff during the day, and you're not charging your phone, and then your phone is slowly the battery's draining down.
Ah, okay.
So you could, if you have issues with this, what you could do is turn on battery saver and put a percentage. The phone I had before this one, once it hit 20% on the battery, I had about 10 minutes left. I mean, that thing dropped fast. And some of you may have that type of situation with your battery. So what you could do is set a percentage so that the battery saver will kick on and try to prolong your battery use, at least your battery until you get home on the charger. So if you have an issue with that on your phone, you could try setting this setting to prolong the battery life on your phone when you're on your battery. You may see an adaptive battery feature also on your phone. You might want, this is kind of a new setting, fairly new. It's been a few years. If you see adaptive battery, does anybody have adaptive battery on their phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I would try that one first, because what this will do is it's going to learn your pattern when you're out and about. When you leave your house, it's going to know which apps you're using and which you don't. And the apps that you never open when you are out on your battery, those apps will not be allowed to update. They're not going to be allowed to do notifications. They're going to have to wait until you're back on your charger. So it kind of learns, it adapts to your usage. That's why they call it adaptive battery. It adapts, it learns. Maybe it learns that you play Spotify in the car, you open up Google Maps, you start texting people, you start calling people when you're out and about. So it realizes the stuff that you use and the stuff you don't use on your phone, and it learns over time. The more you use it, the more it's going to learn. And then the other apps, they're going to have to be quiet until you get back on the charger, and then they can do their updates. So that will help save your battery throughout the day. So you have two types of settings, the battery saver and the adaptive battery. You can try them out if you want on your phone. See how they work for you. Again, in all of these classes, you don't have to make any changes to your phone. Don't feel compelled to make changes. And when you do make a change, I would say, because this is what I have to do for myself, write down the change you made. So and if it's not working for you, then you can go back and undo that change. And only make one change at a time, so you know which one is the one that's working. Anyone have any questions? You'll also see, go ahead.
Yeah, Donna, I have a question. My percentage is saying 44%.
Mm-hmm. Do you have how old is your phone?
Well, I just got it, but I don't have the exact year. I'm sorry.
Oh, and it came set at 44%?
44, yeah.
That's interesting. New batteries, and the older lithium batteries, how they always said with the lithium batteries, especially when you first got your new phone, drain it all the way down, charge it up, drain it down to zero. Do it a few times. Remember how they used to always say that? Drain it down to nothing. So it learns how much, The newer batteries within the recent years, they don't work that way anymore. They now have a thing called a charge life, and that's probably why your phone is set that way.
Ah,
So a charge life on new batteries, new lithium batteries have a charge life of 500 charges. So a charge life counts about where your phone is, below 40 or 30%, depends on your phone. You might have to ask your manufacturer. Once you get down below that, it's going to count as a charge life. So for instance, Virginia, if you get your phone back on the charger before it hits 40%, it's not going to count as a charge life. So your battery lasts longer. So on newer batteries, if you keep bringing your phone down to 20%, 15%, I can guarantee you every single charge you use is a charge life, and that will make your battery not last as long as it should. So the lithium batteries are definitely different now.
Okay.
So,
All right. The other
yeah,
question.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's very interesting that a new phone would have that set.
Okay.
But that's why. That's why.
And the other question is on the battery saver.
Mm-hmm.
As it is now, it's off. And then I get a choice of extended or maximum.
And what type of phone is yours?
It's a Rebel.
A
and
Rebel.
It's a K31. LG.
Oh, it's an LG. There we go. Yeah. All right. K31. And you're talking about the battery saver?
Yeah, it gives me this choice, extended or maximum.
Oh, here we go. How to fix
Oh,
battery draining too fast on There's one. Someone has talking about it draining too fast. So, but you just bought yours. So you're not having that problem.
no,
So you're just curious about the battery saver.
yes.
Yeah, let me see what the settings are.
As it is, it's on off.
It's on off. Yeah, you're got well, you have did you say you have the adaptive battery on there?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's probably why it's off, because you're doing adaptive. I would see how the adaptive goes, and if you find that because you already have the you have battery saver on, it's at 40%, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I would say that's probably set by your factory, because you have a newer type battery and they don't want your phone getting down too low. That's why they've set it at 40%.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have a participant's hands up. It's George. Do you have a question?
Yes, I do. It was before the virus. I don't remember where it was. I used to go to Best Buy, the tech people there, and Target, the tech people. But anyway, one tech told me that don't recharge your phone, let it go down to 20%. And so from my understanding, I'm trying to understand this. So now you're saying if you let the phone percentage go down to 20%, then it's gonna delay the life in your phone.
Do you have a fairly new phone?
It's a Samsung Galaxy J3. I think I bought it in 2019.
That might be in the range there. Again, it will depend on what the type of battery you have on your phone. You'll have to, if that's what they told you, you could also check with Samsung to see what they say on the, what the proper setting should be for it.
Okay.
Because it really depends on the battery. If you've got the newer style lithium.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
There's another question from Eddie. She's asking, what is the limit below which the 500 charges don't count? Can you tell Donna?
Well, I think, that's going to depend on the type of battery that's on your phone. It's best to you might want to Google that to see exactly, I can't give you an exact number, but I think it's interesting, Virginia has that her new phone is set at 40% on a brand new phone. So that's kind of interesting. So that tells me that, it's probably, I from what I've understood, it's about 35, something below 35%, something like that. But I can't really, give you an exact number because our phones are all different and we probably have all different batteries in here. So I would check with the manufacturer if you really want to know exactly what that number would be. You definitely do not want to, I would say getting below 20% is probably a real bad idea because that's definitely going to be counting as a charge life.
What does a charge life mean?
Well, on the newer batteries, they have the lithium batteries, they have a certain number of charges and then that's the end of the battery life. So, there'll be, maybe 500 charges. And if you get your phone, if you get your phone on the charger at a certain percentage point on your phone, it won't count as a charge life if you get there soon enough. If you wait too long and it gets too low, then it will count as a charge life.
Mine says 72%.
That seems kind of high, 72%.
So,
But did you set that way or was it the manufacturer?
well, it goes on, but I want to ask you, so if your phone is at 50%, you should put it in the charger to be safe? Is that
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, if you're around and, you can do it. I mean, you don't want to make it a regular habit to constantly drain the battery down every day. That will, if you have a new phone. If you have an old phone, it doesn't really matter. But a newer type of phone, past, few years, draining it down constantly all the time is definitely going to shorten the battery life. All right. Anything else? Let's talk about backing up our photos. Now, the Samsung people, you do have gallery. You have your photos, your Samsung photos, and you back up to the Samsung Cloud, which is now Microsoft OneNote. Is it OneDrive? Others of us may have Google Photos. And the Samsung people, you may also have Google Photos. Now, you need to make sure you have a setting set on Google Photos to make sure that you're backing up to Google Photos. We have an excellent class, by the way, on Google Photos. I had someone in this class take it, but her photos still weren't backing up until she came to this class and found